Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a PFL face-to-face. It's your boy, Ariel Helwani here, hosting. We have two legends, two giants. This is coined the Battle of the Giants. The undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the greatest heavyweight in MMA, Francis Ngannou. Sitting across from him, the PFL heavyweight champ, Renan Ferreira. And this is going down October 19th, ESPN pay-per-view and DAZN worldwide in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And I couldn't be more excited for this fight. This is Francis's return to MMA. And I guess I'll start with, we just had the face-off. Francis, were you intimidated by his size? Did you see anything in his eyes? How did you feel about the face-off?
No, I wasn't intimidated by his size, but he's a big guy. I'm gonna give it to him. He's a big guy. He makes me. I think he's the biggest guy that I have fought. Even considered that Cyril Gane was big too, but he's the biggest guy. So, but I wasn't intimidated. And listen, I think at this point of my career, I'm in the point that looking at somebody or his size is not what intimidates you, And that's what call experience. You know that you're gonna find your way out.
And Renan, we just had the face-off. Did you see anything in his eyes? Were you intimidated? You guys are grabbing each other's muscles. Did you feel anything?
O Francis é gigante, né? Mas, porra, sou bem maior e minha envergadura e eu vou fazer isso acontecer. Feliz demais em ter a oportunidade de lutar com um cara tão grande, que tem um nome tão expressivo e já fez tanto pelo esporte igual o Francis. Mas com certeza vai ser um combate de gigantes.
He said that Francis is giant, but he's also big as well, and he's excited to fight someone of his caliber, and he's excited for the day.
Now, there was some back and forth in the press conference, and I thought he said something pretty personal. Kobe recently passed away, and our condolences, and he said that this would be a bigger challenge than dealing with that. Does that make things personal for you?
Let's say make things more serious for me, because saying he makes things personal would mean like against him, which is not the case. But yes, this fight for me is more personal about me coming back, personal about fighting back to life, So yes, it's in a way it's personal, even though it's not personal against him, but it's personal.
Now, you've been in a lot of big fights, but I would think everyone would say this is your biggest. Do you feel pressure? You've said that this is the fight of your life. Do you think that this fight changes anything for you? Are you going to be more nervous? Is there any different preparation?
É momento especial na minha vida, né? Lutar com um grande atleta como o Francis, mas eu sempre levei muito a sério. Isso aqui é a minha vida, é o que eu faço para viver. Não só eu dependo disso, mas meus filhos, a minha família. Então, com certeza é especial. Tô me dedicando muito, tô trazendo muita coisa nova para o meu jogo e vou mostrar isso dentro do octagon.
He said this is a very special moment, not just for him, but for his family. They rely on this, and fighting someone like Francis is going to be a defining moment in his career, and he's very excited. He's been dedicating a lot of time to bring his A game, and that's he's going to bring on the big day.
He's bringing his A game, and I think it's interesting that you're making your return to MMA. I feel like people in the press, there's been a lot of talk. Do you feel disrespected by the MMA community in any way, and do you feel like you have to prove something coming back into this fight?
I don't feel any disrespect. I think people have this reason to doubt about stuff. Basically after being out of MMA in 2 years and a half, of course the question if you can do it, and I will prove them on October 19 that I can do it, and I'll also bring my A game, maybe even a better version of what they know of me, basically now with a better motivation, determination.
And you've said that you've recently fallen in love with the sport again. Can you explain that process? Was there a falling out of love? Was there something that you had to push through? Was it focusing on boxing? Can you explain that more?
No, I mean, he was like, not like falling in love. I mean, yes, because while I was boxing, I wasn't training MMA, you know, so I get my mind out of it to focus on boxing to the at the extent that I kind of like no forget, but was doubting if I still get it. And then as soon as I get back in the gym, I found out that everything was there, and I was just as excited, or if not even more excited as before. And I have the reflex on everything. So that's basically what's happened. And again, it's going to be the same thing in the octagon, you know, like getting back in the octagon, I think it's going to be another feeling itself than getting back in the ring in the past 2 years.
Yeah, do you think you'll feel more at home in the smart cage, or
Absolutely. I feel more at home. Even though I love boxing, I feel more at home doing MMA when I get in the gym again. I was just so familiar with everything. In every position, I felt like I was in that position yesterday, you know, even though he was like almost 2 years ago. So, like, getting the cage would be the same feeling. You know, that's what I know. That's what I've been doing for years. That's what I used to, you know, and getting back into it. Not that I didn't enjoy what I was doing, but just getting here in something different would be, you know, just getting back here, you know, I think it's a new feeling of returning home. It's like going to vacation, right? You enjoy vacation, or you enjoy wherever you travel to, but as long as you have fun and then you get back home, you're always excited to get back home.
and do you think training for a man like Tyson Fury will help you? They have the same reach, nearly the same height. Training for someone bigger in boxing, do you think that's going to help you in this fight against Ferreira?
Well, some boxing attributes can help you in MMA fight, such as speed, you know, endurance and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's a complete different sport. And what I do know for sure is that Ferreira right here, he knows the element of MMA and pretty good. So you better get prepared and not just count of some few attributes that you get from boxing. You better like really count on your full MMA A game.
And how long would Tyson Fury last with you in the smart cage?
Not very long, a minute or so.
Ferreira, how has your life changed since winning the PFL Heavyweight Championship and the $1 million?
Eu acho que todo o financeiro é questão de um trabalho duro, né, que eu venho desenvolvendo e venho trabalhando muito, e com certeza isso me deu um conforto a mais, tanto para mim quanto para minha família, e me motivou mais a trabalhar e buscar. Eu sei o quanto eu sou grande, eu sei o quanto eu mereço estar aqui, né? E vou continuar fazendo isso, vou continuar buscando aí, galgando o meu espaço e melhorando cada vez mais.
The finances definitely helped me and my family, and I've been working really hard, and I know how much I deserve this moment. I'll continue to show that.
And I personally want to know how you see this fight going. What's the strategy, and what are you going to try to do to stop this man?
Dessa luta, e o que você vai fazer para parar ele?
O Francis é um grande boxeador, né? Já mostrou grandes nocaute. A minha estratégia no mundo, a minha velocidade é a mesma, e com certeza vou estar trabalhando algumas valências novas aí para estar surpreendendo.
Francis is a big guy. My velocity stays the same, and he's going to always look for new ways to hit him with something that he's not expecting.
And Francis, how do you see the fight going?
How do I see a fight going? I think he's big, he's fast, he has a very good reflex.
Você é grande, você é rápido, você é muito.
I haven't seen him tested his wrestling yet, but I would say trying to knock him out, and if I don't, I take him down and beat him up.
Now, since Francis has been boxing and you fought 8 times in MMA in the time that he was boxing, do you think that gives you an advantage?
Ah, com certeza me deixa mais ativo, né? Me deixa mais ativo, fazendo grandes lutas e sentindo toda essa adrenalina, treinando muito pro MMA. Enquanto ele estava treinando uma só modalidade, ficou um tempo afastado do cage, eu acho que isso ele vai sentir dentro do octagon.
It gives me a lot of advantage. I keep the training, the adrenaline, and I think that he's going to feel that a lot in the octagon.
Are you worried about ring rust going back to MMA at all?
Absolutely not. I don't worry about the ring rust. You know, I feel like it's a bike riding. Of course, you have to train properly and practice, but I think I'm gonna get there and it's gonna be the same. It's gonna be the same thing. So I'm not worried about like the ring rust. Yes, and I know that he's been fighting in the past 2 years and a half since when I wasn't fighting, and then he had a lot of improvement, and that's the reason why we're here. If he wasn't improving, we wouldn't be here today. You know, I think he would still be at the B level, and today he's up to the A level, which in fact I congratulate him on that, to winning the prize.
And John Jones, we saw y'all face off. Everyone wants the fight. The fans want it to determine, you know, it's like Messi versus Ronaldo. You know, who is the actual GOAT of the heavyweight MMA world? Do you think we will ever see that fight?
The John Jones fight, I think at this point is up to the UFC. It's all in the UFC hands because, again, we have I have expressed my willing to fight John Jones. The PFL is down for it. A lot of people is down for it, and I think John Jones himself is down for it. Now, since he's under contract with the UFC, I think it's up to the UFC to allow that, to let the fan have the fight that they want. You know, if they can get past their personal issue.
Where do you see yourself on a list of heavyweights? Francis Ngannou, John Jones, Tom Aspinall. Are you the best in the world?
Ah, com certeza, eu me acho o melhor do mundo, entendeu? E o segundo é o Francis, que vai lutar comigo, entendeu? Então, com certeza, I am problem.
He said, of course, I think I'm the best in the world, and he comes second. Francis comes second.
What's your response to that?
Well, he has the right to believe. I think as a high caliber fighter, you have to believe in yourself, believe that you're the best in the game. Otherwise, you will never make it in the top. And I think if he didn't believe it, he wouldn't be here. But the problem is that he's just gonna realize that maybe he's the one that holding the second place after me.
Well, we're gonna find out October 19th. PFL Africa is set to launch in 2025. You're the chairman. What does it mean to you to be a leader of that new league in your home continent?
I think for me, it's a great, it's my own legacy. It's a great opportunity to become for someone the guy that I always want, to bring that opportunity back home for those who didn't have the opportunity that I was blessed enough to have. I'm grateful of it. You know, today I can be part of the same opportunity for some people, some kids out there to have the same opportunity without having to risk their life overseas and all the immigration stuff, without having to go through all this struggle, you know, they can just sit at home and train and fight in the high league, you know, and make a living and take care of their family, you know, see their dream becomes true, work hard and get whatever they want. I think for me, it's like my own legacy is what I would take as a benefit out of the sport, you know, like my own change. You know, I managed to go earn for us and bring it back home.
Love that. No, and respect to you for leaving the UFC for bigger and better business opportunities, becoming your own boss and setting a precedent for fighters. I think a lot of people think I don't like MMA. I think there's like confusion around that, but I love MMA. I love the UFC. I love what Dana White's done for the UFC. I think it's just time for them to pay their fighters more. But
it's not about what people think you do.
Yeah.
I think it's more about the narrative that have been driven. You know, like we are in a business that when sometimes you disagree on a way of doing things, they just change the narrative and trying to put everybody on your back to blame you and make you the wrong guy, the bad guy, you know, which is not the case. And yeah, we all know that. I've been there.
Well, I appreciate that, and what you're doing is legendary, and setting a precedent for other fighters to get what they deserve and to expand their business, to become an owner. PFL Africa, the chairman right here, making finally what you deserve in both boxing and in MMA. So just big ups to that. And I guess, has that journey been tough to go against the grain and to be the first person to really break out and break free?
Yes, of course. It's been a tough journey, you know, like basically when you're doing something that nobody have done before, and then you're set for failure. Everybody think you're going to fail. You are not going to do it because nobody have done it before, and they don't realize that maybe nobody haven't just think about it. Maybe nobody have had a same vision as you know. But at the end of the day, what I value the most is my freedom. You know, like to claim whatever I do, to do whatever I want to do, and not be forced, and to do things fair, to have things fair for me. You know, so. Yeah, and I hope some people, not only in this industry of fighting, will take example of that, will learn from that, and take a decision for themselves for whatever they want to do. Because at the end of the day, you have only one life, and if you can't decide on your life, what the heck can you decide on? You know, if you can make a decision for you, for what you want, you can decide on. And that doesn't mean things will be easy. That will make things even harder. But at the end of the day, you know, it's your right to do so. It's your right to face challenge. And even if you fail, it's your right to fail. It's your damn life.
Well, respect. You're changing the game. You are the betting underdog going into the fight. Does that change anything for you mentally? Does it excite you to potentially pull off an upset?
Eu não ligo para aposta, eu só trabalho. Eu sei o quanto eu tenho trabalhado duro para isso, o quanto eu tenho me desenvolvido, me sinto muito bem, muito pronto para esse confronto. Ter um cara como o Francis pela frente me motiva ainda mais, que é um cara muito duro. Então eu sei que eu tenho que dedicar cada vez mais, melhorar cada vez mais. E eu sei que essa missão não é fácil, mas vou estar muito pronto para isso.
I don't care about the bets. I am a dedicated hard worker, and fighting someone like Francis has motivated me even more. And I'm ready for the fight.
Have you increased your training? Have you done anything differently to prepare for Francis?
Eu acho que assim a gente continua na mesma linha de pensamento, no mesmo desenvolvimento. O que eu sou bom, eu estou melhorando mais. Estou buscando cada vez mais melhorar as partes que eu acho que eu tenho que melhorar ali, o que o meu jogo tem falha. Então a gente está observando muito isso e cada vez colocando o jogo mais compacto, mais redondo.
I'm just always looking to make improvements and better my game, but I'm very ready for this day.
And Francis, will we see you return to boxing after this, or is the plan to do a couple of MMA fights?
I'm definitely going to return in boxing to boxing, but right after this, I don't know. You know, as for right now, I focus on this fight, and then after the fight, we're gonna see what's next, what's the next opportunity.
And you said that this fight will serve as a reminder to everyone about who you are. Can you expand on that?
Yes, because I saw people questioning if I have a ring rust. I know someone who asked me that, for example, if I have a ring rust. So because people are starting to like maybe let's say forget a little bit, and this will just serve as a reminder that I'm just the same guy or even a better version.
Well, I'm excited for this fight. It's going to be absolutely insane. PFL Heavyweight Championship of the World, October 19th, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, ESPN Plus, DAZN Worldwide. Francis Ngannou, the Predator, versus Renan Ferreira, the Problem. Can Francis solve the problem? We will see. Thanks for watching.